So you're trying to break into the wild world of data, and you keep hearing this name, Snowflake. It sounds big, it sounds kind of techy and intimidating, right? The big question is, can a beginner, especially someone without an IT background, actually learn this thing? Well, we're going to tackle that exact question right now, and I think the answer is really going to surprise you. Let's get into it.
All right, let's start with the number one thing that stops most people before they even begin. It's that feeling, that sense of just being completely buried in technical jargon. You look at a platform like Snowflake and you just think, there's no way. I can never do that.
And this is the question at the heart of it all, isn't it? If you didn't go to school for computer science, maybe your background's in marketing or finance or something else entirely, you're probably asking yourself this very question. Can someone like me really learn this? Look, if you feel this way, I want you to know you are absolutely not alone. Seriously, something like 90% of beginners think Snowflake is just this incredibly difficult mountain to climb. But I need you to stick with me because the reality, it's not what you think. And let's be real for a second. This fear is completely valid. It makes total sense. You're looking at a brand new career, there's all this pressure to succeed, and it feels like everyone is speaking a foreign language full of acronyms and code. It is absolutely natural to feel overwhelmed. But what if we could just strip away all of that noise, all that complexity? What if I told you that you already understand the basic idea of Snowflake thanks to something you probably use every single day? Let's try a really simple analogy. At its core, this is all it is. It's just a place up in the cloud where companies can put all their data to work with it. And that key phrase at the end, without needing any physical hardware, that is a massive clue as to why this is so much easier than you think. Honestly, just picture Google Drive. You get it, right? It's in the cloud, you don't need to set up any servers, and it makes sharing stuff super easy. Well, Snowflake is basically a super-powered Google Drive, but it's built for a company's data instead of your vacation photos. If you get Google Drive, you're already halfway to getting Snowflake. So now we know it's not some impossible, mythical beast. Let's go back to those fears we were just talking about. It's time to tackle them head on. Let's separate the myths from the reality. I bet some of these sound pretty familiar, right? These are the 4 big myths that just build a giant wall in front of so many people. The fear that, oh, my background's not in IT, or I'll drown in all the jargon, or I don't even know where to begin. And of course, the big one, I'm going to have to be an expert coder. But this is where we flip the script, because here's the truth that gets totally lost in all that fear and noise. So here's the reality check. First, it's built on SQL, which is widely known as one of the easiest, most intuitive data languages to learn. Second, you do not need to be a coding genius for most of the jobs out there, like a data analyst or BI developer. Third, because it's cloud-based, there is zero complicated setup. You just log in and go. And finally, the user interface is actually designed to be friendly for beginners. You spend more time learning and less time fighting the tool. Okay, so knowing it's possible, that's a huge first step. But this is where a lot of beginners get stuck. They just don't have a clear path forward. Any journey feels intimidating without a map. So let's give you a map, a step-by-step guide to get you career ready. Here it is, a simple 5-step plan. Number 1, learn basic SQL. This is non-negotiable. It's the language you use to talk to data. Number 2, get the basics of data warehousing. This is understanding why tools like Snowflake even exist. It's like learning the purpose of a library before you learn how to use the card catalog. Then you dive into Snowflake itself. And the last 2 steps, this is where it all clicks. You have to practice with real data and build small projects. This is what you'll actually show to employers to prove you can do the job. So, you follow this path, you put in the work. What's the reward? What's at the end of this roadmap? Let's talk about the incredible career doors that this one skill can unlock for you. See, we're not just talking about learning a skill for fun. This is a direct pipeline to some of the most in-demand jobs in the entire tech industry. We're talking about roles like data analyst, data engineer, BI developer, and even a specialized Snowflake developer. And let me be perfectly clear, this is not hype. Not at all. Go pull up any major job board right now and just search for these skills. You'll see that companies in every single industry are desperate to hire people who know this stuff. The demand is incredibly high. Okay, so we're feeling motivated, we see the opportunity, but let's just hit pause for a second. It's time for one crucial, honest reality check. Because success isn't built on hype, it's built on understanding what it really takes. And here it is, the one honest truth. Is Snowflake easy to learn? Yes, but only if you practice consistently. You see, easy to learn is not the same thing as effortless. The concepts are straightforward, but you still have to show up, put in the time, and do the work to make them stick.
You know, this really sums the whole thing up perfectly. The challenge isn't the technology. The technology itself is not that hard. The real challenge is just finding a clear path and having the drive to follow it. And that brings us right here to the final and most important question of all. You now know it's possible. You
Want to learn Snowflake with real-time projects and become job-ready faster? You can join Snowflake Masters and start your cloud data career with the right guidance.